thank you for the opportunity to lead the debate on the general principles of the Federal Capital Territory Statutory Appropriation Bill 2024. The bill was read for the first time on Thursday, 14th March 2024. The 2024 FCT Statutory Appropriation Bill seeks to authorize the issue from the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account the total sum of 1,747,680,283 Naira only, of which the sum of 140,915,003,856 Naira only is for personnel costs, and the sum of 280,527,373,668 Naira only is for overhead costs, while the balance of 726,338,232,759 Naira only is for capital projects. For the service of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, for the financial year commencing from 1st January and ending on 31st December, year 2024. The thrust of the Federal Capital Territory 2024 statutory budget is to ensure an effective and enduring service-oriented administration for the completion of ongoing projects and the provision of effective services to the residents of the Federal Capital Territory. An appraiser of 2023 FCT Statutory Appropriation Act. In the year 2023, the FCT administration received an appropriation of 641,247,685,794 Naira only as its statutory appropriation. A total sum of 242,432,284,395 Naira only accrued to the FCT as revenue from its various sources, showing 38% level of performance. The sum of 98,930,846,979 Naira 22 kobo only was spent on personnel costs, representing 99%, and the sum of 60,305,199,796 Naira only was expended on overhead costs, while the balance of 83,136,237,620 Naira only was expended on capital projects, representing 20%. Highlights of the capital expenditure of FCT 2024 Statutory Appropriation Bill. The total proposed FCT 2024 Statutory Appropriation is 1,147,610,283 Naira only, out of which the sum of 140,915,003,856 Naira only is for personnel costs, and the sum of 280,527,000 373,668 Naira only is for overhead costs, while the balance of 726 billion 338,232,759 Naira only is for capital projects for the service of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Mr. President, distinguished senators, emphasis has been placed on the completion of ongoing projects, particularly those with high impact on the provision of services and infrastructure to the residents of the Federal Capital Territory. However, a few new projects that are considered absolutely necessary have also been included in the budget proposal. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I urge you all to give this bill an expeditious passage into law. I thank you.
The earliest budget appropriation bill, maybe in 10 years, I don't know. Because the usual thing was to bring the appropriation bill maybe around November, sometime even December. Sometime even November or December. But this time around, it's been brought in March, the earliest in recent time. And I think it's in tandem with the current posture of this administration that the budget process should always start from from January and end in December. This is very good. It's a very good start for the FCT, and the FCT administration must be commended for this. That said, I think we should give the bill an expeditious passage because of the challenges before the FCT administration. The minister was here and he wrote out all what he intends to do in terms of the security of lives and properties within the FCT, in terms of infrastructure. In fact, he rolled out issues to do with the innovations he wants to bring to bear in the FCT in order to change the trend of how things are done here, so as to bring sanity and modernity into the affairs of the FCT. So I think without much ado, we should quickly go through this second reading in order to go to the next stage of the process of the bill, so that we give the necessary approval in terms of passing this bill, so that it will be, the FCT will be, will have the necessary funds to execute the laudable plans it has for the people of FCT and indeed the entire people within, even those not in FCT. But I think what the FCT administration intends to do will affect even other states, the neighboring states of Nasarawa, Kogi, and the rest, because it will bring about the improvement of lives and property, improvement of life, of the livelihood of the entire people of the FCT and its environs. I so submit, Mr. President.
I think it's just coming over now. It's support, because we are all residents in the FCT. We need things to be done as quickly as possible. The minister was here yesterday and he told us of his plans for the year. I don't think there's any senator here who will oppose any budget proposals brought by the minister. Instead, we'll be asking for more, because as long as those things being proposed are going to be implemented, there will be enough security in FCT. There will be, FCT is bound to improve in quality and in style, especially with the environmental issues. I know that many areas have issues with refuse collections and disposal. So these are all part of the costs that we are hoping that the bill will contain at the long run. So I do support the bill as it is. Thank you.
Distinguished Senator Binus Jaro.
The lead debate as presented by the leader of the Senate. I had wanted to make observation just as my colleague, the last speaker, made. That is that we ought to have received a copy of this bill in accordance with our rule book, in particular Order 76. You know, I don't know what is difficult in photocopying the bill and distributing it to senators before we take this second reading. Notwithstanding, I know everybody that is living in Abuja now knows that we have a minister that is working, that is performing, and anything that he brings here will receive expeditious consideration. So having made those comments, I support this bill in total, and I ask that it be read the second time. Thank you.
Thank you. The clerk of the Senate, make sure of the Senate that this bill be read a second time. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate. A bill for an act to authorize the issuance from the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account, the total sum of 1,147,780,610,283 Naira only, of which the sum of 3,850 Naira only is for personnel costs, whereas the sum of 280,527,373,668 Naira only is for overhead costs, while the balance of 726,338,232,759 Naira only is for capital projects for the services of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, for the financial year commencing from 1st day of January and ending on the 31st of December 2024. This bill is now read for the second time. And the bill is hereby committed to the Committee on FCT and FCT area councils and ancillary matters to be brought back on the next legislative date. Yes, point of order.